What's going on, y'all? This is Tendies for Life here. Today I got a video I want to discuss regarding the OTC market penny stock company Vnue, Vnue, which I believe is a pretty interesting stock because of the amount of future value that they hold with the technology that they're trying to set forth in the music industry. So we're going to go over them today and just kind of determine, what their company is about, and, if y'all think it's a good fit for you, maybe consider adding it to your portfolio, or maybe at least give it more research. But as I would like to always say, make sure you're doing your own due diligence and never, ever, ever invest any money that you're not willing to risk and potentially lose. So with that being said, looking at Vnue here for today, again, OTC market here. It's trading or ended today on the 17th of February at 0.028 cents. And that was for the day. Last 5 days, it looks like it was kind of, up at 3 cents, kind of trended down a little bit. And then within the past month, there's been some peaks where, troughs of 0.202 cents up to 3, then up to 3, and a 52-week high of about 4 cents. So overall, in the past month, it appears that Vnue has basically kept around the same, about 2 to 3 cent range at this time. Now over to the OTC markets to kind of get a better description of the company. So it is a pink current, and the description of Vnue is a music technology company dedicated to further monetizing the live music experience for artists, labels, writers, publishers, and literally all stakeholders by creating new and exciting products by leveraging automation technology and second-to-none experience in the instant live space, and by identifying issues such as lack of transparency with performance rights organizations and solving this through innovation in our patent-pending solutions. The Vnue team is the most experienced in our space, a group of technology entrepreneurs, artists, and songwriters who are passionate about the future of the industry and ensuring that the value of the rights holders are not lost in the context of new and ever-changing technology. By selling only live content through our platforms, to include not just major and independent label content, but creating and scaling our own instant live exclusive content. Instant live exclusive content. And by processing and paying mechanical royalties on instant live content and ensuring proper accounting and payment to right holders of material played in venues. Vnue has a perfect trifecta of solutions that will revolutionize the live music business. Revolutionize, keywords. Vnue is the exclusive to Soundstr, which we'll talk about here in a second, MRT Technology, and Set.fm, our instant digital mobile platform for delivering content to mobile devices immediately after a show, an exclusive licensee of DiscLive, the pioneer in instant live recording. So just real quick, kind of get into the description of Vnue. We can see here that, for one, obviously this is about the music business, hence the name Vnue. So just going out to venue, rock concerts, bars, clubs, that kind of stuff. And so what this company is doing is that they are using their technology that they have basically patented for themselves patent pending, in order to go ahead and record live music that's occurring as a band is playing. So for instance, one that they brought up was Matchbox 20, right? Just as an example. So going to a Matchbox 20 concert, if you're a Matchbox 20 fan, you go there, you celebrate, you have a good time. And then instead of pulling out your cell phone and recording video, or, instead of getting caught up in doing the recording yourself, you can actually get lost in the moment of the actual concert. And then if you buy your tickets through something such as Ticketmaster, they may have the option available to where you can also get a live recording of the venue that occurred. And then with that, you can kind of take that home and you kind of have a moment to cherish there. Of course, with COVID-19 occurring, their company was unable to really do a lot of this because there wasn't a lot of getting together. But if you think about it, vaccines are rolling out. If we are able to actually kind of conquer the COVID-19 state, and we're actually kind of able to go out and enjoy ourselves again, I think myself, just like anyone else, is tired of being pent up in the house, and so wanting to go back to those rock concerts, wanting to go out to those certain venues and enjoy yourself for the night, definitely puts at least for the shareholders, in a highly likelihood of potentially making more value when folks are going out there and enjoying entertainment again, and then having Vnue come through and kind of record those special moments for them. All right, so now we will go ahead and take a look at our outstanding shares. So altogether, it appears that there are 2 billion authorized shares with 1.2 billion outstanding shares. So in terms of OTC market, I would say this isn't too concerning, being at 1.2 billion compared to some that may be up to like 20 or 30 billions, like really diluted. In terms of news updates, it does look like Vnue has been pretty active in the news scene. So this press release from the 4th of February, with the CEO, Zach Bair, who we'll talk about here in a second, he has a few interviews that he's been doing over the past few months. So one was with an Australian broadcaster, so kind of reaching out to that audience. He also talked about, for Rockhouse Live, that for those who are going to hold on to Vnue for a minute, he actually has a couple of venues himself called Rockhouse Live. I guess kind of like a spinoff of Hard Rock Cafe, so to speak. So he has 2 of those in Memphis, but he's also building one in Clearwater, which you can kind of read about in this article here if you're interested. But the point of it was he potentially decided to give about 5%, 4.99% backed as dividends to the shareholders. And so this is an OTC penny stock, stock that is basically providing a dividend of almost 5% of whatever profitable business they receive at their Rock House venue in Clearwater, Florida. So clearly on my mind, the CEO, Zach Bair, he is definitely looking out for shareholders with making news like this. Instead of just hoarding that 5% for his own, he's actually putting it back to the shareholders in forms of dividends. And we're going to talk a little bit later. That's not all that Vnue is doing for shareholders, but he's also a musician, so he has released his own single back in January. Trying to get rid of that. There we go. So he released his own single back in January that he actually wrote years ago, so that's there. And then you can see the rest of the news here. They signed a Nashville country artist, Carissa Beale. Like there's news that this stock has been progressively getting more current with. So they seem to be producing more and more press releases, which is great for a stock, right? So that's definitely a thing that I like about Vnue. And then in terms of actually looking into our further details here, so as you can see, CEO President Zach Bair, and then a CCO Anthony Cardenas. And this company is fully audited in their financials. They're reporting to the SEC. Their last report was in September 30, 2020. So they appear to be current in their filings right now, which is a good sign to see for an OTC stock. And here we are at Vnue's actual website. So you see they have a video here that kind of loops in the background of an artist basically playing a venue for an audience. And then, as you can imagine, if someone was a fan of this gentleman here, they can certainly get the recording as well and kind of go home with that. Brought to you by Vnue. And so this is their website. It's the Welcome Industry. Kind of a picture a little bit about them there. Their whole point is, protecting the rights of music writers, publishers, and artists. In a nutshell, they are basically trying to help solve this blanket statement license issue where if you're working in an industry such as, we'll say Starbucks as an example, and Starbucks is playing a music in a business, they're supposed to pay a certain fee to be able to play music. Well, the issue is that there are certain blanket statement license out there that will have them pay just a generic fee, and they will likely be charged a flat rate even for music in a catalog that they don't use. And so on top of that, the artists who are having their music played may not be properly compensated from that. And so Vnue's mission is to, for one, keep a company like Starbucks from having to pay a blanket statement. They only pay for music that they use with their recording software, which we'll go over in a second. And then at the same time, the artist that's having their music played is also getting paid for having that music being used. So it's kind of like a win-win for both sides, the way that Vnue is describing it. And then just some of the artists that they've done. So here's Slash. They did one or maybe multiple concerts for him when he went on tour and kind of took care of that. So they definitely have some experience in the game of obviously some very high-hitting, well-known artists such as Slash. So there's one they did. Looks like they used DiscLive for that one. And that was also in the UK when that was recorded. So not just United States. Looks like they're branching out. And let's see. Just some pictures about some fans here. You can read that if you want. And then the About Us section, right? So we kind of read a lot about the About Us, but again, you're welcome to read this. Pause the screen if you want to read it. But what they're also helping with, like I was saying, it could be like CDs, USB drives, laminates that they can do with the live concert feel. So that way the people who really love and are big fans can kind of go home with those type of mementos. And then the management. So this is pretty awesome here. So they kind of break it down to who they are. And so this, being Zach Bair, who's the CEO and chairman, you can read all about him, but it looks like he's been pretty invested into the music business. Actually had a company that he was actually able to sell to Mark Cuban back in 2006. So no doubt in my mind that this gentleman knows what he's doing in terms of entrepreneurship and being an inventor, so to speak, making something that someone else desires and wants to buy, especially if Mark Cuban, we know the multi-billionaire who is purchasing this product from the same gentleman who's now the CEO and chairman of Vnue. His executive vice president director is Lou, who has an interesting history himself, being a former executive vice president and general manager for Capitol Records. Like, holy smokes, we're talking about some big time individuals here in this company, again, for Vnue. And he was also the former president of media properties for House of Blues, which is one of those nice Vnue locations that you can look up when you have the time to. So again, it looks like we're getting some pretty good, well-rounded experience from the leadership here at Vnue. And then there's Tony Cardenas, who is the chief creative officer and director. And so he also has a history in music himself. Multiple platinum selling and Grammy nominated Capitol Records when he was recording artists with the Great White from these certain years. And so, all of these individuals have a pretty good history of what it's like to be successful in business. And so, with them combined together and their whole team, I feel like there is a good future value in terms of Vnue right now. And as mentioned earlier, here is the product I was mentioning about Soundstr. So again, kind of talked a little bit about it, but I'll just read it from here as well. So Soundstr helps businesses pay fairer music license fees based on actual music usage. So fair music license fees based on actual music usage instead of that blanket one. We help those same businesses make more money with our audio ad network and help songwriters get paid when their music is used or performed in a business. This is basically a pay as you use type model, which is super useful again for the artist as well as for the business itself. They've really tackled a way of taking care of both of them and kind of helping each of them out. The Soundstrs, it is a patent pending system, revolutionized the collection of song performance information business, identifying, reporting, analytics, beacons. So the Soundstr model will have a beacon where, I don't know if you've seen this before, but if you go into a grocery store and you have your cell phone on you and you happen to go down the aisle where they sell chicken tenders, right? And so you're kind of going through there and you're like, oh, this looks cool. And then all of a sudden your phone gets like this message that says, hey, here's a coupon for, buy 2 chicken tenders, get 1 off kind of deal. Beacons are basically doing that because they're using the Bluetooth, from what I understand, to your phone from this device such as like Soundstr or anything else in a grocery store. That basically talks back and forth to let them know where you're at in a certain part of the store. They'll send you a coupon there. You happen to walk by it. You happen to spend more time there. now you got a coupon, you're probably likely to buy it and kind of save some money there, right? So this is to help Vnue businesses that can get certain promotional ads out to the folks that are in their venues. So they may get like a message saying, hey, check this out. They may click on it, get an extra drink half off or something, and it's actually making money for the business at the same time. So it's pretty profitable from that aspect to have Soundstr in there. So they've really thought a lot about this, and that kind of ties into the next one, right? So advertising. Broadcast advertisements between bands at concerts and events. So in between, you can have these advertising broadcast to all the people in attendance. And you're talking about, getting your money's worth. There may likely be some folks in there who will buy off that advertisement. And again, that can make more additional revenue for the business based off of that. And on their about, I want to show you all this as well, because if you look here, these are the folks who are kind of helping do this. And this is a great statement right here. Founded by musicians, fighting for sustainability. So in other words, this is for musicians, by musicians. Music has always been around for a long time. Entertainment is here to stay. And there's a lot of money involved in the music business. And so just a quick one here. So the founder, Aaron, not going to pronounce that, but previously served as a co-founder and drummer for the platinum-selling rock band Hawthorne Heights. And so he is a co-songwriter, again, for musicians, by musicians, artists, and so forth. Like, this team is comprised of subject matter experts who are going out into their very known field and being respected by their platinum-winning awards, or at least having connections to those. And so they know what it's like to be the artist who may have not gotten the proper dues that they need. And so they are invested in this to help them maybe more in the future, or any of their previous work, as well as future artists. So again, I feel like this is another home hit for the Vnue team. And here we are on their Twitter page. And so you can see they've been pretty active and kind of getting messages out. Like this one they just sent about an hour ago, kind of saying, hey, look at this, copyright, and then kind of getting people interested and involved as much as they can. And they continue to just kind of put out little things here and there, but they're staying pretty current on their Twitter, which is also a good sign that you want to see in a stock, that you have a company that is engaged with what's going on. And you can pick up some good news from here, but as you can tell from their followers and following, still kind of low, not well known at this time, but doesn't mean that they don't have a good amount of value put within them. It's very good that they are, getting the word out through the Twitter platform. That kind of shows an active company, not one that's just sitting around and defunct. Now, I don't want to make the video too long, but I also want to play about a minute or so of Zach Bair actually giving this kind of end-of-year update that he did in December of 2020. Now, he's reading from a piece of paper because, when you are the CEO of a stock, you have to be very careful about what you say, and it has to be legit, right? So you can't go out there and just start making some things up, but you have to give like legit expectations. And so him reading from a paper just kind of helps him stay on track and not say anything he's not supposed to say. So don't discredit him for reading from the paper. It's just something that he's kind of doing legally to protect him. But again, I just want to play a minute just so y'all can kind of hear of the potential value coming up. So see what y'all think about this.
Excuse me, we have not yet received our funding, but as I've said, we are working on a $3 to $5 million round so that we may accelerate development and fully commercialize Soundstr. I wish I could tell you more in this regard, but I will tell you that we've had some very encouraging conversations, which will resume immediately after the holiday. So I'll say things are looking pretty good. Excuse me. We continue to have friendly angel investors assisting us until we close that round. And have no fear, we have taken no more convertible debt and have no plans to do so. I will also add that if any of you who are true believers in the company and who are buying up shares on the market and holding those shares, there could be some real opportunity for you by participating in a private round, either the main round or interim funding. So I would encourage you to send a message to contact@vnue.com if you're interested in learning more. And yes, to a few questions that I've received, we have budgeted, in fact, for a share buyback once our $3 to $5 million round comes in. We continue to feel our company is dramatically undervalued. So how far have we really come?
So did you all catch that right there? He basically said that once they get their investment of the 3 to 5 million, they're entertaining the idea of a share buyback from their stock. So if you're not familiar with what share buybacks are, it's basically where they can go in and buy some of the outstanding shares back. And what that usually does is increase the value for current shareholders who are holding that stock. So I just think that's pretty big news. And this is coming from the CEO himself saying this. So if you want to watch more of the video, you can check it out on their YouTube channel. You can see they're like 18 minutes long. But I just want to play that clip about, the potential of a share buyback and how big that can be. And then finally, just kind of showing the stock Twitch page right now and just seeing that they're at over 1,000 followers. It's not a very big following, but it has been slowly progressing over the past couple of days. So again, that kind of wraps up our video in terms of the Vnue stock. I just kind of wanted to get this company a little bit of recognition out there, just in case those who have never heard of it before now have an opportunity to kind of check it out for themselves and do their own due diligence on it. This was my due diligence anyways, the reasons that got me interested in this company. Disclaimer is, yes, I am invested in Vnue. I potentially want to hold this company for a good minute. I think they have good value coming forward in the future. Again, that is my own advice, but I feel pretty comfortable, holding on to this stock for a minute, because I can see this potentially taking off in the next, few years, in my own opinion, if this company really does set off, or if they do make it, pretty big and they get bought out by a larger company, obviously that's going to work out in my benefit. Plus, again, they're giving a 5%, share back, or let me rephrase that. They're giving a 5% dividend from the 5% of profits they gain from their Clearwater Vnue Rock House Live. So again, that to me tells me that they are interested in shareholder value. And so that helps me feel pretty good that I feel like I'm in good hands in terms of Vnue. Plus, again, looking at their CEO, their leadership, management, everyone has something to do with some type of business or music. And so I really feel like this isn't one of those stocks that are just made for a pump and dump, or that's made to just, be some type of shell company. Like, they are legitimately experts in their own field, and they are revolutionizing the game with this technology to kind of make it better for both artists and the business. So again, to me, it's win-win. So hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this far. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like the video. If you don't like the video, you can dislike it too. There's a thumbs down there, so you got two options: thumb up or thumb down, your choice. But if you do like this video, let me know. And then if there's a stock that you're interested in that you'd like for me to do some due diligence on and kind of put up, let me know. And then I can look into doing the research and posting a video on it one day. All right, until next time. Peace.